Prince William's quiet confession about Kate Middleton shocks royal fans. Everyone thinks they know Prince William. Everyone thinks they know his marriage. But a quiet moment changed everything we thought we understood. Because what William confessed about Kate was not dramatic. It was not public. And that is exactly why it shook royal fans so deeply. For years, Prince William and Kate Middleton have been presented as the calm center of the modern monarchy. Stable, smiling, unshakable, the couple who figured it out. The future king and queen who made love look effortless under the heaviest spotlight in the world. That image has been carefully built, but it was not built on perfection. And William has never been as silent about that as people think. The confession did not happen on a balcony. It did not happen in a documentary. It did not happen during a speech meant for headlines. It happened quietly, almost casually, in a moment when William thought he was simply being honest. And that honesty revealed something far deeper than royal fans expected. It revealed vulnerability, dependence, and a truth about his marriage that reframed everything. To understand why this confession mattered, you have to go back to how William learned to love in the first place. Prince William grew up watching love fracture under pressure. His parents were not just unhappy. Their pain was public. Every argument, every betrayal, every cold silence was magnified by cameras and commentary. William did not just witness a marriage falling apart. He lived inside it. That experience shaped him. It made him cautious. It made him guarded. It made him determined never to repeat that story. When Kate Middleton entered his life, she was not just a girlfriend. She was calm in a world that had always been chaotic. She was normal in a life that had never been allowed to be. And from the beginning, William noticed something he had never felt before. With Kate, he could breathe. That detail matters, because it becomes central to the confession. In the early years of their relationship, William pulled away more than once. He hesitated. He broke things off. Not because he did not love her, but because he feared what love would demand from him. He feared failing her the way his parents failed each other. He feared trapping her inside a life he himself sometimes resented. Kate stayed steady through it all. She did not chase headlines. She did not pressure him. She did not dramatize the distance. She lived her life. She waited without waiting. And when William finally chose her fully, it was not because the timing was perfect. It was because he realized something quietly terrifying. He realized he needed her more than he was ready to admit. Years later, long after the wedding, long after the children, long after the image of effortless stability had settled in, William let something slip. He spoke about pressure, about the weight of expectations, about moments when the future felt overwhelming. And then he said something simple that stopped people cold. He said that Kate is the one who keeps him grounded. That without her, the job would be unbearable. It sounded harmless at first. Sweet, even. But royal watchers understood the implication immediately. Future kings are not supposed to admit dependence. William did not say Kate supports him. He did not say she stands beside him. He said he relies on her. That distinction changed everything. Behind palace walls, this was not shocking. Staff have long described Kate as the emotional anchor of the household. The one who smooths tensions. The one who reads the room. The one who knows when William is carrying too much and intervenes before it shows. But hearing it acknowledged, even softly, was different. It revealed a marriage, built not on hierarchy, but on balance. And it raised an uncomfortable question. If Kate is the emotional center, what happens when the pressure increases? William has always been honest about how deeply the role affects him. He has spoken about grief, about mental health, about the scars left by his mother's death. He has admitted that certain anniversaries are unbearable, that certain memories never soften. In private moments, he has reportedly admitted something even more revealing. That Kate sees the cracks before anyone else does. Not the public cracks. The internal ones. She knows when he is pushing himself too hard. She knows when he is retreating emotionally. She knows when duty is swallowing the man. And she does something powerful. She reminds him that he is allowed to be human. This is where the confession becomes more than romantic. It becomes structural. William did not marry Kate simply for love. He married her because she stabilizes him. Because she protects the parts of him the crown cannot afford to break. That is not weakness. but it is vulnerability. Royal fans were shocked not because William admitted love, but because he admitted emotional reliance in an institution that has long punished that. And there is another layer that makes this confession even more significant. Kate carries this weight quietly. She does not speak publicly about the pressure she absorbs. She does not discuss the emotional labor of being the calm one. She does not talk about what it costs to always be composed when the person you love is carrying the future of a monarchy on his shoulders. But William's words acknowledged it. In doing so, he shifted the narrative of their marriage from fairy tale to partnership. There have been moments when that partnership has been tested. Periods of intense workload, media scrutiny, health scares, family fractures, moments when rumors tried to create distance where there was none. Each time, the pattern remained the same. Kate did not react. William did not perform. They closed ranks. And behind that silence was communication that did not need an audience. The confession also reframed another long-discussed topic. Why William protects Kate so fiercely. Observers have noticed how carefully he shields her from unnecessary exposure. How he structures their schedule to prioritize family. How he insists on normalcy for their children even when tradition pushes back. This is not just affection. It is awareness. William knows what it costs to lose stability. He knows what happens when the emotional center of a family collapses. And he knows that Kate is that center. That knowledge makes his confession not shocking, but deeply intentional. He is telling the truth before the crown forces silence. There is also something else hidden in his words. Gratitude. William has acknowledged that Kate chose this life fully aware of its limits. She chose scrutiny. She chose restraint. She chose a role where her composure would be constantly evaluated. And she did it without demanding control in return. That balance is rare. Royal fans often compare marriages. They analyze gestures. They read body language. They look for cracks. What William's quiet confession revealed is that the strength of his marriage is not visible in grand moments. It is visible in private ones. Moments when he can admit fear. Moments when he can admit exhaustion. Moments when he does not have to be the future king. Just a husband. This is why the confession lingered. Because it challenged the myth that royalty must always be emotionally distant to survive. William suggested the opposite. That survival requires intimacy. That leadership requires grounding. That love is not a distraction from duty, but the thing that makes it bearable. And perhaps the most powerful part of all is what he did not say. He did not frame Kate as perfect. He did not idealize her. He did not turn her into a symbol. He framed her as necessary. Necessary to his balance. Necessary to his resilience. Necessary to the future he is preparing to inherit. In a monarchy built on silence, that admission was louder than any speech. Royal fans were shocked because they recognized the truth in it. This was not a rehearsed line. This was not a polished soundbite. This was a man revealing the quiet architecture of his life. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Every glance between them, every subtle check-in, every moment Kate steps slightly ahead or slightly behind depending on what William needs. It all makes sense. The confession did not weaken the image of the future king. It humanized it. And in doing so, it reminded the world of something the monarchy often forgets. Behind the crown is a man who learned early what happens when love fractures. And beside him is a woman who ensures it never does.